substances, you went to college. I think it's too late to acknowledge our problems. Heard that you're great, I just wanted to say it ain't change. I still love you, tomorrow's not promised. Oh, by the way, fucking hate all the fame. Got you counting the days when your illness is chronic. Death really changes the way you behave. I'll remember your face when it smiles upon us. Rapper base, psych major, 666, so we like danger. Tough luck, life waster. If I get to know her, then I might save her. Stars in your eyes, let the moon talk. I can stay a while before I move on. Hoodie sleeves up, let the mask off. Make star tears on the asphalt. Damage in my C6, but you get that. So I know you'll understand where my blade at. You're afflicted, where the meds at. Damn girl, let's make big bets at. Fuck them all, they don't got nothing on us. Trying to kill us, baby, think we're fucking on it. Fuck your fucking sickness, lost you in the process. I'ma get it for us like I always promised. Pull me back in with your fucking lies. Kill me slowly, baby, you know I don't fucking mind. You said a million years, guess the stars align. You've been lying, baby, see it in your fucking eyes. All up in your feelings, all about my vocal cords. I just think it's funny, there ain't shit you working towards. Rose up at the morgue, got my foot in the door. If you run up on the dead, get body by a corpse. Keep fuck for your money, get robbed for your life. Had a plight from the jump, succumb to the night. Got meds in my blood, got death in my mind. Ain't got shit left, best step to me right. No face, no name like Kidder. My bitch look just like Misa. In my restless dreams, I see her. Sent straight to the ether. Last thing you see is my creepers. I want blood, I don't get even. Corpse, bitch. I went to substances, you went to college. I think it's too late to acknowledge our problems. Heard that you're great, I just wanted to say it ain't change. I still love you, tomorrow's not promised. Oh, by the way, fucking hate all the fame. Got you counting the days when your illness is chronic. Death really changes the way you behave. I'll remember your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geeks and Noobs podcast. I am your host, Super Beard Vince Hoover, joined as always by Kel McCosplay. So sorry for the slight little glitch in the beginning. We just saw us looking stupid for a second. I forgot to hit the button, but we're all good. We're here and we're ready to go.
I mean, that is how we usually look throughout the day. So,
yeah, normally, yeah, it's pretty common actually.
yeah.
But we are here and we are ready to go. Of course, if you're following us on Twitch, please hit that follow button. Subscribe if you're feeling generous, just $5 a month, or use your Amazon Prime subscription. Make Jeffrey Bezos pay for it, stick it to the billionaires. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free there, as well as hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button, hit that follow button, thumbs up, all that jazz. Also, hey, that's a pretty nifty shirt you're wearing there, Kel.
Yeah, I think so. The all new Kel A. Knight McCosplay shirt.
Yeah.
Available in our merch store.
Yep.
I can get the. Yep. But yeah.
If you're on Twitch, if you're on Twitch, hit exclamation point merch in the chat. I just did it. The link is there for you in chat. If you are on YouTube, just go to any of our socials. It'll be in our link tree. You can get it there. Just check it out. Just $20. Get yourself a shirt. There's other ones coming. I finally remembered to order my new Let Me Explain shirt, so that'll be coming in soon, so I'll have that as well. There's also the new Geeky Kitchen merch, including an apron, thermos, all that fun jazz, and our classic TGN merch there.
I always remember, guys, all the money from merch sales goes straight back in the show, so we can keep on bringing you more content that you enjoy.
Absolutely, and we're trying to plan some more stuff coming up. I wasn't able to do the Geeky Kitchen episode last night. I had a bit of a medical flare-up. I'm okay. But just wasn't able to, it was just not able to really focus or do anything yesterday, so I had to pretty much stay in bed. But I'm all better right now. So tomorrow night, I'm going to do a special Friday night episode, because I do want to do another Marvel one before we start next week with the Ghostbusters cookbook
Yes.
for the month of October. That should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool crafty stuff in there. I'm also probably going to do a live stream where I carve a pumpkin, do like a 3-dimensional carving. And considering I am doing Ghostbusters, I may do a Slimer one. I haven't fully decided yet. Or I may do the Ghostbusters logo, something like that. Just kind of stick in the theme.
Yeah.
So you have that as well.
Speaking of, I will send you my recipe for Ecto Cooler as a cocktail.
Yes, please. Yeah, send me
Yes,
that.
that
I don't know if it's in the book or not. I think there are some drinks in the book, but please
there
send me
are
the one you have.
there is a variation of it, but they don't call it Ecto Cooler, and the ingredients are just kind of that
Yeah, send me
sound
the
they
one.
don't.
Send me the one you have. I'll do it, and then like I may just do it each week to have a
Yeah,
drink to go along with the stuff.
yeah,
Um,
because there is a few cocktails in that book because I have the exact same one.
yeah, I'm really thinking of like
But
as one of the desserts is those the State Puff marshmallow. I know those are like super cute,
yeah.
so that'll be fun. Also, Saturday special event. We've got the next NXT No Mercy premium live event. So Super Bro and I will be doing a live stream for that. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So we'll be doing that, watching the pay per view, and having you guys join us for that. Kale, if you happen to be free Friday or Saturday night, more than welcome to pop in, of course.
I will do my best, sir.
And yeah, and also I think I'm working on it, figuring out the logistics of it, but I want to do another subathon soon.
Mhm.
Um, so that'll be fun, and I think during the subathon we'll definitely do some like movie watch-alongs in Discord, like find some kind of bad like stuff like Ben Affleck's Daredevil and stuff like that. We'll get some like
Oh,
yeah, and we'll have them up in Discord so people can watch along, and then we'll roast them for the
oh
time.
yeah, that's always so fun.
Speaking of roasting, in a sense,
Yes.
so slight segue into our topic today. As you guys may have noticed from the title, we'll be doing crazy Reddit stories. I've got a list of 16 here, some classic big time Reddit stories that we're going to go through. I think this is something we're probably going to end up probably doing maybe like at least once a month. And the reason I say at least once a month is because we are going to get back to our regular content here soon. The writer's strike is officially over, which is huge. They got
Yeah,
most
very
of what they
much.
were asking for, and that's crazy considering how at the beginning of this strike, the studios were like, "We're just gonna wait them out. They blah 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 blah. We'll never give in," and they gave in a lot. Uh, I think the WGA recently posted everything they got out of it. They didn't get 100% what they were asking for, but they got like 90% of what they're asking for. That's
I
a
mean, you
huge,
can't beat
huge
that.
win. No, it's a huge win, and that's a
Yeah.
negotiation. You go into the table knowing you're not going to get 100% of what you're asking for once the
Right.
strike hits. Before the strike, you're expecting 100% of what you're asking for because you're not asking for anything that's ridiculous. But not only did they get 90% of what they were asking for, they got a couple other caveats thrown in there on the whole AI situation and whatnot, as well as, and this is a big one, um, streaming services are going to have to start being transparent about their actual numbers because
Ooh,
they're going to be getting residuals on streaming.
that's about
So
damn time.
this is actually huge across the board. And streaming services have become the thing they were meant to stand out against. They were meant to be the alternative to cable, and now that they're raising their prices to absorbent amounts and adding ads and all this other stuff, they're
Hmm.
becoming cable. So it's like it's that line from The Dark Knight: you either die young as a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They're becoming the villain.
Yeah.
AJ, I'm gonna get to that in just a second. However, the SAG actor strike is still ongoing.
Hmm.
So the embargo on talking about all stuff coming up is still on. That being said, I'm guessing within 2 months that should be handled since the WGA got theirs done. I'm sure that they'll be going to the table sooner rather than later. So it shouldn't be too much longer. We should get back to that. Now, before we jump into the Reddit stories, um, AJ brought up a great point. The great Michael Gambon passed away today.
Yeah, very sad. I saw that on the news today while I was at work, and I was instantly stricken with grief because he was such a fantastic actor. So many roles, too many to name. Dumbledore being one of his most
Yeah, most everybody knows
prolific
him for
ones.
Dumbledore. Yeah. We know him as Dumbledore. I actually was first exposed to Michael Gambon in the movie Toys with Robin Williams,
Yeah,
where he
yeah.
played his father, who was a colonel but still ran a toy company. It was very. If you haven't seen the movie uh, Toys with Robin Williams, please see it. It is a strange movie, but it's
To say
great.
the least.
It's
But
great.
it's still a great watch.
It's unique. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
And it's not for
Yeah.
everybody, but I still recommend it to everybody. If you're a Robin Williams fan, give it a go. And the actor who played Ducky on NCIS died this week too. Yeah, I saw that as
Yes.
well. I'm a huge NCIS fan.
Oh,
Ducky
yeah.
was great. It's a shame he passed away as well. So we lost two great ones this week. So thoughts and prayers out to their families, of course, and everything else. But yeah, Michael Gambon was a fantastic actor. He's been in, again, like you said, just tons and tons of stuff. 82 years old. He will be missed, but of course,
Mhm.
one of the great things about actors is that they do get to be immortal in the fact that their contribution to art will live on forever.
Yes.
So, admittedly, I've seen some people on TikTok trying to do an homage to Gambon in their announcement of his death by talking about him as if he was Dumbledore. Personally, I think that kind of belittles the man behind the character. He was much more than Dumbledore. He was a man who gave everything to his craft. No ill will towards the people. It's coming from a good place what they're trying to do, but
Mhm.
he's much more than just Dumbledore. Um, he's been in so many things. Played a villain, played a hero, everything in between. Great character actor, good guy.
Yeah.
So
I remember he was on one of the Doctor Who Christmas specials. I believe it was the very first one with Matt Smith, when they were retelling uh, God, what is that famous Christmas Carol? They it was basically a Christmas Carol in Doctor Who, and
oh, okay,
he
yeah,
played
yeah,
the
yeah.
Scrooge. He played the Scrooge type character, and
I
then
think he
not too
actually
long after
did. I
that,
think he actually did a version. I think in theater, not in on a film, but I
yeah,
think he did a long run in London of the play adaptation of Charles Dickens' *A Christmas Carol*,
probably.
and he played
Well,
Scrooge
not,
in that as well. Um, yeah,
but
he
yeah,
was.
that's where I first got exposed to him, and then not too long after that, he got the role as Dumbledore after the first actor passed away.
Richard Harris. Yeah,
And yeah, but I know I'm in the minority because I know a lot of people always preferred the original actor opposed to him, but I thought his performance was so much better as Dumbledore. It
I
may not have been 100% accurate to the books, like a lot of people were saying, but I think he acted it very well
I
and
thought he brought a
much
life to it.
more.
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
exactly.
I agree. I think he brought more life to the character. Richard Harris, unfortunately, was already in failing health when he did the first two films. And
Yes.
it's kind of obvious. Like, it was very
Hmm.
obvious that he was not able to give it 100%. But, you know, uh, no hate to Richard Harris, because I think had he lived on through all the films and done it, he'd have done just as well.
Yeah. But when my my personal experience, when you're to me personally, the most memorable thing that he did in both movies was earwax.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, again, he didn't have a lot to work with either. Because the other two,
exactly
because remember, the first two films were more.
about establishing Harry.
Yeah, and it was also very almost like
And
directed more towards children, like the books
yes.
were. As the book, your reading level increased as the year increased, and the movies
Hmm.
kind of did the same thing. And maturity wise, they kind of increased that way. So, it is what it is. We're 10 seconds away from an ad on Twitch, so we will wait for that ad to pass before we start these Reddit stories. But if you're on
Okay.
YouTube, we'll still be on there, and we are at ad now.
Oh,
But we're still live on YouTube and on Facebook, so we'll keep on going. Yeah, Michael Gambon, great actor. Um, again, just so many great roles beyond Dumbledore, but of course, he will always be remembered as Dumbledore. Um,
absolutely.
and it's a shame when somebody passes away. I mean, he was 82 years old. You know, it's unfortunately we're at that time. We're getting to that point in our lives that our parents got to years ago, where all their favorite actors started to pass that they grew up with. We're now in that time era for us where we're going to be seeing that as
Yeah,
well. And
yeah. And you always, I'm when you're a kid, you always hear about these actors passing away, and it don't mean much to you because you didn't really see their work. But now, with so many actors having so many memorable roles and some near and dear to our hearts, it really, really hurts. Now,
yeah,
it's unbelievable. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely a strange phenomenon.
hmm
To deal, like, again, we kind of saw it growing up with our parents, kind of dealing with it,
yeah,
and now we're in that aspect of life where we're watching these people that that we've grown to really gravitate towards and enjoy their art. We're watching them, move on in the world, and it's fascinating in a morbid way, but also incredibly sad. And of course, there's the whole debate over parasocial relationships and whatever, but we do connect with these people through their art, and that's the point of it. Yes,
yeah, absolutely agree.
yeah, yes, people become actors to
'Cause-
become rich and famous. That is obviously an aspect of it. But
mhm.
I would say that most actors become actors to share their art, to share what they love. And, we get to experience that through their films and whatnot. I think, Chris Evans recently talked about he's going to be pulling way back on acting. He's not going to quit 100% because he loves it so much. But the stuff that comes with it and the scrutiny and everything else, he's not a fan of.
Mhm.
And that's why he's pulling back. And I think that's kind of the sad part. And I've seen people with the whole SAG actor strike, people like, oh, they're all rich and famous. What are they, boo hoo them. They're not getting their six figures. No. The median pay of an actor is like $24,000 a year. That's, we complain about teachers making that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm not saying teachers are less important than actors, but quite the opposite. They're far more important. But I do believe that people who act are still important because I think entertainment is important. The escapism is important. Art is important.
absolutely.
And so, hopefully the SAG actor strike can come to an end sooner rather than later, and we can get back to being able to talk about the stuff that we love very, very much. I think that'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff coming up too, so it'll be a lot of fun to
Yeah.
talk about. But
And let's go back to what you were saying about, actors living their art.
yeah,
And you get to see that. You get to see both sides of that coin when you go to conventions, I believe. You have some actors there that are strictly there. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. Who do I make this out to? Now give me my money. Then you have other actors, and I'm going to go ahead and name drop Casper Van Dien because when I met him, he was happy to see every single fan in line, told a little story, and made it a experience to remember. And there's so many people like that, and that's why just going to cons is my new favorite pastime, and I want to try to go to more whenever I can. And it's just these people are just so happy that they are remembered because even an actor that has had bad movies, and I'm going to use finger quotes for that because some movies are bad, but they're also good for various reasons. And we have a list of them that we're going to go through sometime in the future.
well, I mean, a perfect example is Starship Troopers.
Exactly.
That's not a
That
good
and
film on paper. like by
No,
the criteria of a good film, but it's fun escapism.
it's a fun watch. And he knew it wasn't the best film in the world, but he has dedicated fans that love that film, like us,
Yeah,
and those are the people he wants to talk to.
yeah, good times.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, like I said, that'll be wrapped up sooner rather than later. We can get into that, and like I said, when we do the subathon, we will do, full circle cinema, where we take movies that are so bad they're good. We watch them. We'll watch them via Discord. So you'll want to join our Discord. That's exclamation point
I
Discord in chat. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in there right now.
I am
Or
going to be
YouTube
so
or anywhere
excited.
else. Again, go to our link tree. It's in our bios, and you can join our Discord. And just join up there. We'll do a viewing party there. You can watch along with us on Discord, and you'll be able to we'll just roast them like an MST3K style, and it'll be a lot of
Yeah,
fun. I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a blast.
I am too. I've been looking forward to it ever since we discussed it at the end of last year.
Oop, I clicked in the wrong chat. That was on YouTube. My bad. I meant to do that.
Damn it, Vance.
There we go. There's the link. There you go, guys. But yeah. So as of today's topic, something that we will probably do at least once a month, if not more often, depending on how you guys like it. We're gonna read some Reddit stories, and some other times we do this, we may react to the Smosh Reddit stories, just play their videos and react to them. Pause it with each video and get our own reactions, because I think the way Smosh does it is one of the best. A lot of people, like, if you go on TikTok now, it's hard to avoid the Reddit TikToks. They're all there, and there's so many podcasts that do what we're about to do. But I think that Smosh does it the absolute best. That was weird. Your whole body jumped sideways.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what the hell?
That was weird. But you have Shane Top, who is the host of it each week, and he has a psychology degree, so he's able to come from it from a slightly more analytical standpoint. And then you have people who they've lived their lives and they're able to give a funny interpretation, but their reactions are all genuine and they're a lot of fun. So we're gonna jump into it. I've got 16 stories here, some classic Reddit stories. Some of these you guys may have already heard. Now I have kind of like skimmed the TLDRs on these, but I've not actually dove into them yet. Kel is going to be completely fresh on these. Got my other laptop here so I can
pop my cherry, Vince, with these stories.
All right. So the first one is, am I the asshole for bringing up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? So,
Okay.
off the bat, so this is something we'll do before we get into the story. Just from the title alone, do you think the person was an asshole for doing that?
I'm gonna say no, because if they're having a heated discussion, especially at a family gathering, that would be a great way to completely off-road them off that subject of whatever it is they're going off about. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like, at face value on the surface, pulling up somebody's premature birth, it could be a low blow, even with the argument. So maybe they're an asshole.
Possibly.
But I find the
It's
ones.
possible.
I will say this right ahead of time. I have found the ones where the headline, the title of the article, almost screams asshole. They end up not being the asshole, and the ones that screams, "Oh, you're not the asshole," they end up being the asshole. It's kind of a it's almost like a
That's usually
siblings.
how it works.
You ever seen that Instagram account called Siblings versus Dating?
No, not
Okay, so that's funny. We may do that one day. Maybe for the subathon, we'll pull that up and do that too. But what it is on this
All right.
Instagram, they take a picture of these two people.
Fuck shit balls and dick premium ostrich new boot fucking goofing holy Santa Claus shit.
I stopped talking. I saw the shark pop up and I knew Tommy was in there. Tommy, thank you so much for jumping in. You are always a bundle of joy. You bring so much. Yeah, so I think when we do the subathon, we will do the siblings versus dating. So what it is, they have a picture of two people together, and you have to guess whether they are siblings or whether they're dating. And 99 times out of 100, when they really look like, oh my god, they're definitely dating. Look at where his hand is. Look at, he's like basically touching her at. Like, they're actually siblings. And then when you look at the people that are dating, it's like, oh look, they have the same nose, same mouth, they look so identical. They're not even really like, they're kind of just like hovering arm, and it.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of the obvious isn't the answer, is it? So
Right.
let's get into this.
Question though, do they have a category where it's both?
They
Siblings
haven't
and dating?
they don't go into too much detail, but yes, Tom, you keep me on my toes all the time.
Maybe that's only on Alabama Instagram.
Alabama Instagram, yeah. Well, I mean, you're in Tennessee. You're not that, and I'm in Florida, so
yeah.
It happens around us too.
But still, who's more known for it though?
True.
I mean, stereotype, yes, but stereotype for a reason.
Yeah, there always is some truth in a stereotype. Tommy says,
well, that's why they're stereotypes.
Tommy says, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so let's get into this story, and then I'll give you, once we talk about it a bit more, I'll give you what Reddit has decided. They do vote on, you get to vote on it, and they'll decide whether they're the asshole or not. So, OP, original poster. I am a nurse practitioner, and I am a primary care provider for a lot of low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work hand-in-hand with the doctors and midwives to create a healthy maternity, birth, and post-mortem situation. My fiance is completing her residency. We live together and have for a few years now. We aren't in a hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple years ago, but then we got really busy for 2 years. It is driving my religious parents crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I don't really care. I'm an adult and I do what I want. We're getting married in June. So we are visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it came together this year, everyone is at my parents' house. So that's my folks, 3 siblings, myself, my fiance, and 7 grandchildren. So 17 people total. At dinner, my mom starts going on about how she's so glad that we are finally getting married and she won't be embarrassed at church anymore. My dad says how he's proud.
Who's ready for story time with Captain Sir Beard Bebe?
Thank you, Tommy. My fiance, and my dad says how proud he is that his 3 older boys are kids who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right away after moving in together. My fiance was getting embarrassed and I was getting mad over this stupid argument that we've had too many times. And a family dinner was the last straw. I have asked them repeatedly to just accept that we cannot control how I live. They cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So I started talking about the premature baby I had been reading about. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed 1.6 pounds. It was super strong and healthy for being born so little, and the NICU had high hopes for the baby doing well. My mom and dad both got deer in the headlight looks on their faces. Too bad. Should not have fucked around with my fiance's feelings. So I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album where we keep all the records of the family births and stuff? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. The subject changed very fast. After supper, my parents told me that I should not try to embarrass them with private things that are not my concern. I told them that if I heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her 2nd trimester when they got married. My parents are both mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home, but my fiance is happy, and they seem to be off the subject for good. Am I the asshole?
I would say no.
Absolutely not. Nope. I'm definitely going to say no. The thing is, as he's mentioned before, he had already set boundaries with them.
Yes.
He had already said, hey, just let us live our life. And so the premature baby, which I should have mentioned in the title, it was in quotation marks, was the fact that they lied to the family when the baby came out 4 months premature, which was actually right on time because she was already pregnant before they got married. Mm-hmm. And if that got out to her church, she would be shunned completely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like a very conservative church. Mm-hmm. A very just one of those like ridiculous churches that's like over the top with it.
Yeah, like in Footloose.
Yeah, exactly. So if they found out that she had premarital sex and was already pregnant before the marriage, she would get shunned worse than she's already getting embarrassed now for one of her sons living out of wedlock with a woman. Which, by the way, it's 2023. Cut that shit out.
Yeah.
I
think I believe the comedian Hal Sparks said it best when you don't save yourself for the one. You practice for the one.
Yeah. So here's some comments. Not the asshole that was beautifully handled. You didn't call them out and embarrassed them, but you stood your ground. I did laugh out loud when you said when you got your blackmail information. Grandma had this in her pocket for a long time, I'm guessing. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Merry Christmas, and hope you have a great New Year.
Bravo.
Yeah, and I also a second applause for Grandma for having this in the barrel.
Way to go, Grandma. She's been sitting on that piece of information for years, just ready to pull the trigger.
Well, actually, here's a little bit deeper information on Granny. This is interesting. So another comment says, my granny used to say the first baby after marriage can come anytime. The second one always takes 9 months. Next time they give you grief, discuss how comfortable the backseat of your dad's old car was. And then another person responded, my grandmother was convinced that the first baby only takes 7 months. My uncle and his wife welcomed their first daughter 7 months after their wedding. How convenient. So there was a lot of older people. So not necessarily the OP's grandmother, but many people's grandmothers believe that first baby was sooner than 9 months. So yeah, the overall vote, I think it is almost 100% here of not the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's some people who just can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And they get stuck in their old school, very conservative, and I don't mean to bash religion, but religion does have a big part in that, where they just get to be ridiculous with things. And so, yeah, it's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's look at the next one. What is this next one?
Lay it on us, Vince.
Oh, okay. Now you've worked in customer service.
Yeah, like back when I was still in high school, yes.
Well, yeah, we've all worked retail or hospitality or some job like that. Here's one in that vein.
Nice.
Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? Very simply, 1,000% not the asshole. Right off the title.
Yeah.
Again, having worked in, my feet are freezing. I need my tortilla blanket. Just cross my feet. Okay. 100% not the asshole right away.
Oh yeah, because if you've ever worked retail, you understand.
Yeah, and again, even if you haven't, there are so many Karen videos online now.
Oh yeah,
that there's it's so prevalent.
After this story, I will share a personal story about how I got back at a Karen.
Perfect.
When I worked at a grocery store. So go ahead, Vince.
Well, I'll say this: I won't have to get deep into the story. If you ever saw the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds,
yes. Oh, fantastic movie.
That was based on the Bennigans that I worked at. And I lived a lot of those stories, including the Karen customer and the, tipping less than $1 bullshit.
Yeah.
So I've lived that life. So I think we've all been there. Okay. So I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop, and I've also worked at coffee shops, both Dunkin' and Starbucks. My co-workers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not really a formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So those are the two that are going to be in the story. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad so you have to be. This is not written well. They are definitely in high school. Like, how sad do you have to be for a grown-ass man to take their anger out on a high school and college kid? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting really sad. No, please don't fire me. My family needs some money. I need this job, please. And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, oh, it isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it. And James was like, no, we pride ourselves on the best customer service. Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job and we were just acting. We've done it a couple times when a customer would lose their temper at Danielle or I. James would storm in and fire us. Almost every time the person who had come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize that their actions might actually have consequences. Anyways, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they had gotten someone who definitely needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? Again,
Absolutely
1,000% not. No. Your friends are assholes.
Yes.
Your friends who think that this is a mean prank are assholes.
Keep in mind, they only are doing this to people who come in with an attitude.
Yeah. And like it's the thing is what's going to happen too is the only thing that's going to happen on this prank is yes, maybe they're going to feel went the fucking break again. It's fine. It's 60 seconds. I can't control them anymore. They put in a new ad system and it's great. It's better revenue for everybody, but it also I can't control when they pop up.
Yeah.
And I want to say this so everybody can hear it. I know we're still live on YouTube, but what it is though is that yes, the person's going to feel really guilty and really bad. But what's going to happen is that's going to stick with them.
Mm-hmm.
And every customer service interaction from then on out is going to be handled much better.
Exactly. It's just like when a father lets their child stick a penny in the light socket. They learn not to do it again.
I'm really glad we were on ad for that one. The thoughts and proclamations of Kel do not necessarily represent those of TGN networks.
That's true.
Nobody is advocating for letting kids put pennies in light sockets, but I get the metaphor. Yeah, it's literally like I said. This person, yes, they're gonna feel guilty. Oh my god, I got this kid fired. Yes, they feel guilty. They feel bad, but it's not gonna affect them in a way that they're gonna go home and like burn their house down out of guilt or anything like that. They're gonna take that with them. And every single customer service interaction they have from that day forward will be drastically different. And the other side of that is the people who are happy they might have got somebody fired are going to expose themselves as the asshole, and that will also follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some of those Karens that kind of slip through the cracks. The ones that like the friends and family don't see that. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, they're not that bad. But this person who's happy about getting somebody fired, who might leave that coffee shop ecstatic that their bitching actually worked, is going to brag about it. And everybody in their close-knit circle who isn't a Karen like them is going to be like, yo, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. And then hopefully their husbands serve them with the divorce papers the following day.
Yeah, I think the only assholes in his story are his friends in school who have no fucking sense of humor.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, for my own personal story like this, I worked at a grocery store in my little town when I was in high school. And, for most of the time, everybody was cool. We had like an older customer base and, few younger people come in. And this one woman, I had never seen her before. First time I actually really saw her before. And she came with a buggy full of groceries. And I start putting them in the plastic bags because that's what we had. We also had paper bags. We were still using paper bags at the times because it was the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the plastic bags were right there up front. I started putting them in there and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, bagging groceries." She's like, "No, I get mine in paper bags." Okay, I apologize. So I unbag, I get it, our largest paper bag. So put everything, filled it up, got the second bag, had a few items left, so I got a slightly smaller bag. Started putting those. Was like, do you not know how to do your job? I'm like, excuse me. It's like, I only get one paper bag. Why don't you know this? It's like, first off, I've never seen you before in this store. Why would I know? So I unpack everything. I have to unpack the first bag to make sure everything fits. And he's handed the grocery bag. He's like, you're useless. And then walks out the damn door. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep. There are some people who they're just miserable people.
Yeah.
And for some reason they feel they have to take it out on everybody else. And they will
Yes.
they will never reflect inward to realize that the problem is they are the common denominator in all of their problems.
Yep. So the next time that this person came in, at that point everybody knew her. So I was like, hey, I know what she said to you last time. So do you want me to take this one? I was like, no, I got it. So what's then, as soon as she come up the second time, and her son was with her, and he's as douchey as she is. It's like, yeah, I think this was the one that couldn't get all my groceries in one bag last time. He's like, really? Wow. I'm like, you guys make out at night, don't you? I didn't say that, but I thought that real hard. So, but what I did, I went down to grab our paper bags, and what I slipped my box cutter out of my apron, sliced the bottom, and I placed it just so it would stand up but not look cut at the bottom. Packed everything up, one bag. I conveniently slid my hand underneath it so it would still hold together when I picked it up. Handed it to her son, and they got about 3 steps when that bag busted and their groceries went everywhere. Some jars broke, and I didn't care. I was like, oh, wow, that's unfortunate. Maybe next time you should get 2 bags so it won't be so heavy.
Yeah.
So
I'd have done something similar to that for sure.
Oh, I did, and I felt satisfied. I didn't even care that the store lost some money, but just to drive the point home.
People
So,
are just I don't
am
understand.
I the asshole for that?
No, I don't think so. I don't understand.
Anybody
that
who's watching right now, am I the asshole?
I think ideally it should be mandatory by law that everybody works in retail for a month and in a restaurant for a month, at least. Like it's like there's so many countries that have mandatory military service. I think it should be mandatory that you work in retail for at least a month and in hospitality for at least a month. It's mandatory. Because the way people treat people in the customer service industry is insane.
It rarely is.
Insane. All right, next story. Now, this one's a little bit harder to judge strictly off the title. Am I an asshole for making a dad joke?
Okay.
So again, this one's hard. We can't really judge.
Yeah, can't judge it from that.
Interesting. So I'm gonna normally I want to wait until the end. Which, by the way, the last one was voted not the asshole again unanimously.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm gonna bring this up first because this one got voted everybody sucks. So we are in for a treat here.
Oh boy.
I find the ones where everybody sucks to be some of the most fascinating. So, note, my stepdaughter, Madeline, was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15, and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set a punishment up for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a little bit hurt at that. But I understand that she didn't mean it, and that she's probably going to change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 13 years, or next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." That happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry, I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, "Hi, hungry," I'm not your dad. My son just started laughing uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment. And my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees, so am I the asshole? Now, edit. I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent.
Okay.
Now, there is an update, but before we get into the update, let's react to that first part of the story.
Well, I wouldn't say he's an asshole, but it was a dick move.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Kind of a dick move, but a bit of a legend in my eyes. And that's something else. By the way, that's something else on Reddit where people are like, even when they're assholes, there are people who can be this like legend. Like there's a very famous story. There's a very famous story out there of a guy who had a pet raccoon, and his sister insisted that he not bring the pet raccoon to her wedding. And his babysitter flaked with like an hour before he was supposed to go to the wedding. So he dressed the raccoon up in a little tux and everything and brought the raccoon. And she got pissed at him for it to the point where she wouldn't like disowned him as a brother kind of thing because it ruined her wedding, even though everybody loved the raccoon and everything. Admittedly, he's kind of an asshole for not contacting her before showing up with the raccoon and saying like, hey, my sitter last minute, I can't leave him at home alone, blah, blah, blah. But also he's a legend. And more so over the raccoon's a legend. So yeah, there's legends there. I think
those guests remember that dressed up raccoon more than the wedding itself.
Oh yeah, it made the wedding palpable. I'm sure of it, because weddings can be fun, but 9 times out of 10 they kind of suck.
Yeah,
and even if you're just a guest, they end up being stressful because everybody's stressed. And I did wedding planning for a while. Like, I was part of my job. I did my first job ever. I worked in a tuxedo rental place. And part of what we did was also wedding planning stuff. Also, I had a godfather he was a florist. And I used to spend weekends with him from time to time. And we would go with him to do flower deliveries and help him with bouquets and stuff. And so we saw a lot of weddings. So for a good 4 or 5, like pretty much all of my high school time and just after high school, I was in that job or in that area. And they're all stressful. And you see people like that, like I said, are just guests getting stressed out because everybody else is stressed out. So, first of all, legend. I don't think he's an asshole.
No, I don't.
Also, I think that the everybody sucks vote is wrong.
Yeah.
I think that as much as she was out of line for saying what she said, she's a 15-year-old girl going through the hardest part of her life at the moment with puberty and everything else.
True.
So, again, that hurt, and that sucked. I don't think she's an asshole for it.
No, I don't think she is either. I mean,
I think she's an asshole in the moment.
Yes, because she doesn't know how to deal with these changing chemicals in her body because of puberty, like you said. So, yeah, teenagers say stuff. I have 5 teenagers right now. And they've said stuff that hurts. They really do. Are they assholes in that moment? Yes.
Yeah,
but not as people.
And his son, who I'm guessing that is a younger son that he's had with his wife, Jessica, laughing. Of course the younger brother's going to laugh.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And the wife, I think, it depends on how the berating went. But if she was just like, hey, don't stoop to her level, even if she was a little bit like, don't stoop to her level. At the very worst, the wife is an asshole in the moment, not an asshole.
Yeah.
Because she also lived through what the daughter's going through when she was 15. So she understands. So I don't think everybody sucks is the proper vote here. You know what I mean?
I think everybody's just assholes in the moment, and now they're good.
And it may be because there is no asshole in the moment vote. It's very either you are, you aren't, or everybody sucks. So it might have been that's why I got that vote. I don't think everybody sucks here, though. Let's check out the update, though.
Okay.
All right. Because this might shed some more light on why it got there. So, mini update. I'll probably give a full update later, which it doesn't seem they did. But here's what happened so far. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking to her. Hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you by words I said. And I really am your dad. I changed your diapers, I met your boyfriend, and I plan on helping you through college. And plus, I am legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter, even though you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good. Yes,
Yeah.
that is good.
Yeah, it is.
And again, this to be in actually makes the vote even easier to go to not the asshole.
Mhm. Yes.
Because he didn't get mad at his wife for berating him. He took what she said to heart and fixed the situation.
Exactly, yes.
So not the asshole and a legend.
Yes.
See what some of these comments are. Okay, so I think a lot of it is this. A lot of these are, you're the asshole, but a very small one. It's a funny joke, but the wrong audience. So that's what it seems like. The reason that people went with everybody sucks is because there's no scale to it. They didn't want to vote him an asshole because he was, again, in the moment.
Yeah.
Everybody was
like
assholes.
I said, not an asshole, but a dick move.
Yeah, a lot of the yeah, exactly. Saying everything that we said, these comments, and the reason I think that it got the vote of everybody sucks is just because again, there's no scale to the voting system. It's very black and white on the voting system.
There's no in between.
Yeah, so okay. That was a good one though. I like that one.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
Oh, okay. So we'll definitely vote on the title on this one. Okay. These kind of stories, I see a lot of these. Similar vein anyways, and I love them. Okay. Am I the asshole for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? I think I've actually heard this one, but like I said, there's a lot of these, so that may be a different one that I've heard before.
Yeah.
But, so let's go into this. All right. My a 28 female. Now, normally, by the way, we noticed the first 3 stories didn't have the ages listed out. Normally, Reddit requires that, but it's obviously not that big a deal. So let's go into this. So my 28 female sister-in-law, Amy, who's a 26 female, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet and domes up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I'm assuming the husband is her brother. She's either married to her brother or is the sister of the husband, because she's sister-in-law. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has.
No.
She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I would not be paying her bill. This is where I might be the asshole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men. I think watching 2.5 Men makes you an asshole, but that's neither here nor there. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse, and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached into my purse and said, "This wallet?" She was extremely furious. She said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So, am I the asshole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant?
Man, hell no.
There are 2 edits on theirs, but we'll talk about it first. They're very quick edits. One of them is just basically thanking Reddit. Yeah, again, 1,000% not the asshole.
Not one bit. You called her out on her cheapness, and I applaud you, madam.
And you made it clear before you left the house.
Yes.
You were not paying her bill. Also, you didn't dig through her stuff to find her wallet.
Exactly. It was laying right on top.
It was laying right on top.
In eye shot. I mean,
as a
Technically,
good
she
friend,
didn't invade privacy because she's at her own house.
yeah, but also
She has
like,
a right to go in that room no matter who's in there,
let's say that you came over here and you're staying at my place, right?
right?
And we're gonna go someplace, and you're already outside the car, and I happen to walk by and see you left your wallet.
Mm.
Hey, Kel, you forgot your wallet, buddy. Like, I'm being the
Oh,
good
thank you,
person.
Vince.
That is,
I
yeah, that
appreciate
is,
you.
yeah, exactly. That is what a good person does.
Mhm.
Because, by the way, even if you're not planning on paying, even if I said, "Hey, I've got the dinner. Don't worry about it. I've got before we left the house, I'm telling you, I'm paying."
Mhm.
You should have your ID on you.
Yes.
You should have identification on you. You should have cards on you in case something happens. Or
Agreed.
you're walking out of the restaurant and decide you want, you're window shopping and you want something. Like, for any amount of reasons, you should have money on you, your ID on you. You should be prepared for any and all situations.
Correct.
So 1,000% not the asshole in this one. This is not the story that
No.
I had heard. The one I had heard is actually better, and if I can find it, we'll do it the next time we do this.
Nice.
It's a good one. So the edits. Wow. Thanks for all the awards. Geez, so many comments that I can't keep up, and thank you all. Edit 2. Amy just called me. She saw this post and she yelled at me for bad mouthing her on the internet. Honestly, I don't care. Amy, hopefully reading all these comments is a wake up call to you. Now that is something else that happens from
Yeah.
time to time, is that people will try to keep it by using fake names and whatnot conspicuous. First off, that person who comments like, say, "Hey, I saw the post and you said this about me." I didn't say your name. How do you know it was me? I use fake names the whole way through. The fact that you identified with it
knew.
so well,
Yeah.
you're an asshole. But also, I've seen where people like not only see the post, but then see the comments and their eyes get opened. They're like, "Oh shit, I am the asshole."
Yeah.
So that happens.
Mhm.
Let's see if there's any good comments here. See, this one I had actually, this like popped in my head, but I think that this would have made them the asshole. So they said, "Not the asshole, but you totally should have flipped a switch. Left your wallet at home. Only brought your license so you could had to cover so she had to cover the whole bill. Then never take her out to a restaurant again."
Yep.
That would have made you the asshole,
Yeah, it definitely would.
because I'm sure she probably didn't have the money to cover the entire bill. I'm sure that this is the only time she ever gets to eat fancy, which is why she does this. I'm not trying to justify her actions. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that I don't think she has the money to cover the whole bill. She probably barely had. She probably barely had enough to cover her part of the bill, because I'm sure that she didn't read through that menu to find the cheapest options.
Oh, of course not.
So yeah, she made the reservation and invited you. Etiquette says she would be responsible for 100% of that bill. It's the same principle with dates. The person who asks chooses the restaurant, ideally with the other person in mind, and then pays the bill, not the asshole. Awesome power move, but your husband's gonna have to step up and make her pay. But when is your husband gonna step up and make the pay?
That's a good question as well.
She actually responded to this. She responded to this comment. They've bullied and manipulated him like this his whole life. He's gotten so used to it that he doesn't see the bigger issue. Old habits die hard. Trying to help him stand up for himself, but it's an uphill battle. That is a damn shame. And your camera keeps glitching for some reason. That is so odd. When the stream is over, check your connections.
Yeah.
Something might have come slightly loose. I don't want to say do it now, because if you do it now, you could end up completely disconnecting your camera on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, a lot of these. Yeah, a lot of these are just not the asshole. Good for you stepping up. Yeah, absolutely 1,000% not the asshole in that one. I'm waiting to get the one, something that we haven't gotten to yet. I think we might do this next week if the strike is still going on. We might do this next week too, and I'm gonna look for specific ones. And I might, there's a sub feed to I Am I the Asshole called Am I the Devil, where the worst stories go.
What does my ex-wife have to do with this?
A lot of times with these stories, because you got to remember, the one thing we have to keep in mind, it's written from the OP's perspective, and they're going to write it to make themselves look the best they can. Even if they don't consciously make the decision, subconsciously, you're going to write it that way. and we're only getting part of the story. However, there are a lot of these Am I the Asshole stories where, even keeping that in mind, where the person's trying to write it to make them look the best, they still look like a raging asshole to the point where their story gets moved to Am I the Devil? And those are fun to read. Because you read about a person and you're just like, you can tell that they're trying so hard to make themselves out to be the hero, to make the other person out to be the asshole, and you're just like, you are such an asshole. Hopefully there's one or two of these in here. Okay, so this one's going to hit close to home for us.
Oh.
I'll just say the word supernatural, and then I'll read the title.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw my camera glitch right there.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's
I
like
think
it's trying to invert me.
The cable might be loose a little bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm still here, so.
Now, this story I think I have read, or I saw it on a TikTok. All right. Am I the asshole for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard?
Oh, nope.
Okay, it says I'll try to keep this short, and it's the longest story we have to date.
Of course it is.
But it's with two updates.
Okay.
That's why it's so long.
Yeah, to make a long story short, too late.
Yeah. And the reason I said supernatural is because it's a 1967 four-door Impala, which is what he drives.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala four-door that I bought in February of 2019.
You better name it, baby.
Yeah. A couple months ago, I had bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I've read this story, but none of the updates.
Okay.
I had the body in one bay and the chassis in another, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis, the pandemic, and the whole time has hated that car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land. I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. I tell her tough luck, it's my house and it's not like I can throw it back together really quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple days on a business trip for the small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles, making me food all the time, doing all the chores, all that. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home, but then I realized that I didn't see her car in the usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I can make sure I mow that area and keep it clean, and she said not to worry because she parked in the garage. I asked how, and she told me to go check it out. Turns out, while I was gone, she had hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, chassis, and all the parts, and take it to the local dump slash scrapyard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11K on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that, and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her it was done between us and to pack her things and leave. I admit I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer, and as I have all the receipts for the money spent, and I have her on my house's security cam footage, letting the guys in and watching them take it all, I think I could win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's just a stupid old piece of junk and that she cannot pay back all that money I spent, and that I should just let it go. But I have been putting my time, effort, and money into that car for a year and a half now, and god damn it if I'm not going to get justice for what she did. Am I the asshole?
Hell no.
No. And the family and friends are assholes. She is a devil.
Yes.
And sue the shit out of her. And not just for the 11K. Because like you said, the time and effort you've put into it as well. The labor costs, the emotional distress, all of it. Like you should be getting like 20 grand easy.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean that was a bullshit move.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be like my wife loading up all my collectibles, all my figures in our living room while I'm gone at work and just tossing them out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be so mad. I mean, I love the woman to death, but I'd be super pissed.
Yeah. Edit. Thank you so much for the support and the awards and everything. I'm glad I have some people on my side. I got a call from her about 20 minutes ago, and she told me that I was ruining her daughter's life over a stupid car. I told her she ruined her own life. I've been gathering documentation and stuff, and I'm about to head down to the police station and file a report, as suggested by Lots here. Once again, thank you all. Okay. There are 2 updates. Update. Went to the police station last night, was told to come back in the morning. Just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it, as well as the title for the vehicle in my name. They said they will be in contact with all 3 parties, me, my ex-girlfriend, and the junkyard guys, soon, and they will hopefully be able to recover some or all of my car. I just have to wait now. Huge update. They found my goddamn car.
Hallelujah. Baby lives.
Yes. The junkyard guys apparently were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask them questions. It was on a forklift, and they were going to put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and they had the title, but obviously didn't have the title for it, and since they matched the VIN on the chassis and the body to the VIN on my title, it was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but I don't know if it was the boss or whoever or was specifically in charge. They also told me they would be looking into the specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. So this might have been a chop shop.
That's the way it sounds.
They said they haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet, but they're working on it. I'm just so glad they found my car. Luckily, I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car so that I can use that to prove what parts that they had were mine, so I could hopefully get most or all of it back. Police haven't let me take it back home yet, as they said it is evidence or something, so hopefully I can get it back eventually. Thank you all so much for the supports. She's gonna be all right. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that was a total devil move on her part. I mean,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable that someone would do that.
Yeah. And she's not only going to get sued, she's going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Because grand larceny and grand theft are felonies.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they already arrested somebody at the junkyard who lied to them about having the title, like there was a plan involved.
Yeah.
So she may even know those guys. So, wow.
Unbelievable, some people.
Yeah, not really going to go through the comments because he kind of addressed the fact that the comments told him to go file our police report and stuff like that. But yeah, that's whew. That is bad. Bad, bad, bad. That's horrible. Okay, this will be this should be an interesting one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of our house?
Okay.
I don't think I can make a call off just the title on this one.
No, I can't either.
There definitely needs to be some context here.
Yeah.
Because my mind immediately went to that his nieces are stealing, and the brother-in-law is a little too touchy-feely of an uncle. So my brother-in-law Sammy lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters Olivia and Sloane, 18, with him a couple months ago. His sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk into her room and take everything they can get their hands on. Makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking her things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girl behavior. I completely disagree. No. Last straw was when I bought Zoe a $60 MAC makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month. One of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. don't know how much. I don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife. She said she'd asked Sloan to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him. He said, "My daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow of each other's stuff." He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart, and she shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality. Oh, God. What the
Oh,
fuck?
fuck you.
This defect in Zoe's personality trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotected and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him this I told him this between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters, then demanded I remove it, but I said the lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of the house. She got mad I was implying we kicked them out and said her family will hate me over this. So I reminded her that I said that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do. So she should start with blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces/granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with such a disturbance at home. Everyone has been giving me and Zoe the silent treatment, and my wife is very upset over this. Am I the asshole? 1,000% not. And your wife is an asshole for enabling it. Your brother-in-law is a major asshole. Like, I'd have punched him in the face. That defect line, I'd have been in jail because I'd have punched him in the fucking face. Also, his daughters are 18. They can move the fuck out and go buy their own shit.
Exactly.
And a 16-year-old getting herself a nice makeup kit, what's wrong with that?
No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it all. I mean, I have daughters. My oldest daughter, she started getting expensive makeup after she got a job, and we didn't say anything because she bought it with her own money. I know, and this story didn't clarify if he got it for her or she got it for herself.
She got it with her own money. She saved up for months for it.
Then that's her property. That's her stuff.
Exactly.
And with them saying girls borrow stuff all the time, borrow means intention to return, not destroy for your own self.
And not destroy.
And destroy it. Exactly.
But also, there are two sides to that. Both parties agree on it.
Mm-hmm.
If one party doesn't agree, it is stealing.
Yes.
Plain and even if you return it, it's still theft.
Yeah.
If I go to Walmart and take a TV, use it for a week and bring it back, it's still theft.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just, whoa.
And the fact that the mother is sticking up for her brother and not her daughter,
yeah,
is possibly more upsetting to me now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
The brother-in-law is an asshole. There's a reason he got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason he lost the house in a divorce. If the divorce
now.
If the divorce was amicable, it's a 50-50 split on the house, he would have had money to get someplace to live.
Yeah.
If the wife he divorced was the asshole, he'd have gotten the house. So even without, I don't have all the details, obviously, but the fact that he lost the house in a divorce and had nobody else to live with and couldn't afford to live on his own means he lost his ass.
Uh-huh.
And the reason the daughter sided with him is because he enables them and their shitty behavior. And the mother probably doesn't put up with that shit. And since they're 18, told him to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Asshole. Ugh. The brother's an asshole. This guy, not the asshole. Stand Absolutely up, dad. Not. Stick up for your daughter. Fuck them. And your wife, you know what?
Damn.
You need to have a real sit down with your wife because there might be a second divorce in the horizon.
Uh-huh.
If she's not willing to stick up for her daughter.
God, I'm ready to punch somebody in the fucking throat, I swear.
Yeah, that's
After that one, I'm done. Oh,
yeah. Your wife harbors someone who tells you that Zoe has a defect in her personality for buying expensive makeup kit. That kind of thing has people thinking about divorce. Absolutely. And
absolutely.
the brother blamed the wife for the defective behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And she still stuck up for him and not the daughter.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
How controlling is that guy?
At best, marriage counseling. That is the least right now. Because
Yeah,
your wife needs help. And your
Mm-hmm.
relationship needs help. Because right now you are this close to getting your own divorce here. Holy shit.
I would send them some money to help aid that process.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Vince, where'd
Okay.
you go?
Oh, we've lost connection to my camera.
Yeah, here we're talking about mine.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Oh God, I cannot believe that story. I am like raging so hard right now.
That was weird.
Whew, I'm steaming because of that post.
Yeah,
because
that's
in my own personal experience, having gone through a divorce and fighting tooth and nail for my kids.
okay. So
Yeah, that hit close to home for me, and I'm just.
So this one is one that I kind of told you about, where the person writing it tries to make
Yep.
themselves out to be the hero.
Okay.
It was so bad that the person was voted asshole so much they deleted the post, but it was saved on Twitter.
Nice.
So I'm gonna pull it up here so I can read it. All right. This one, man. It's kind of like the exact opposite of what Peter Parker does in No Way Home.
Okay.
Where he literally ripped the fabric of reality apart trying to make sure his friends got to go to college.
Okay.
Here's the title. Am I the asshole for logging into my friend's email account and declining her university's offer of admission?
Absolutely. Fuck you.
Yeah, asshole. Please do not judge only after you have read it. Please do not judge only after you have read
Too
everything.
late.
Yeah. I promise you there is much more to it than what the title says. Throw away because my friend knows my main Reddit account. Also, English is not my first language, so apologies for any grammar or spelling mistakes. I will refer to the country we initially plan to go to as country X, and the country my friend might be going to as country Y. I might also consider editing this post later on to hide other personal information to make it less obvious it's me in case people I know see this post. Hope that's fine. Ever since I was a child, I always dreamed of studying abroad. We all know the benefits of studying abroad, and I am sure if I didn't profit from this now, I will forever regret it later on. Luckily for me, my parents are financially stable and can afford sending me abroad in order to gain some invaluable experience. However, there is one catch. That is, I must go with a friend of mine as they don't want to send me there alone. I thought it wasn't a problem since I had been planning to go with my friend to country X. This month, things change. My friend and I applied to 2 universities in different countries. One of them doesn't have a capita on a number of students it can accept, but the other one does. My friend got accepted to both of them, but I only got accepted to one. Both of them are good universities, and objectively, one is not better than the other, but their education system does differ. When my friend got accepted to university in country Y, she told me that there's a possibility she will go there instead, as she has relatives there that will allow her to stay in their house without her having to pay rent. I was heartbroken by the news. How could she do this to me? She knows how much I want to study abroad and is well aware of the fact that my parents will not let me go alone. Okay, fuck. Again, remember how I told you they try to write it in a way where they're the hero and they very obviously can't do it? The selfishness in that.
Yeah, very.
How dare she do this to me?
Yeah. This is not her problem.
I told my parents about this, and they assured me that if there is no other person I can go with, then I will be studying here instead. I could not let this happen. Although she didn't say she is going to do it for sure yet, I needed a definitive answer, or else I'll keep being stressed about it. My friend once told me her password on a game we play, and I tried to see if it was the same password for her email, and it turns out it was. So I logged in and rejected her admission offer and logged out. My friend still does not know this, but she will soon. I told my parents about it to assure them that my friend will now be going with me, but they got so upset at me and are now threatening me that they are going to call my friend's parents and tell them what I did. I
Good.
begged, I begged them not to, but they are not listening. They want to do it in case she can still email the university. In the end, I told them to let me tell her instead, and they agreed to do it, although I don't think I will.
Oh, you bitch.
Now that you guys know why I did this, do you still think I'm the asshole here? What's my fault for being
Absolutely.
forced to go with my friend?
Oh no.
Okay,
You don't deserve friends.
there are 2 edits. We are only 20 minutes in, and I've already received DMs that range from insults to threats and attempted doxing. While I can accept the insults no matter how harsh they are, I cannot accept the threats. First of all, I was not born yesterday. I'm well aware of the fact that even if I use the throwaway, my friend will most likely know it's me from the post, and I will consider editing or deleting this post later on if necessary. Also, it's not funny to act into DMs like you are my friend. I know my friend's Reddit username. Please just do what you're supposed to do, judge me, but try to do it without insulting me or worse, threatening me. Also, I will no longer be responding to DMs. Keep all the comments here where the mods can moderate. Edit 2. Alright, I think 82 comments telling me that I'm the asshole are more than enough. Thank you for participating. I will log out now. You're not only the asshole, this would, to me, if they hadn't deleted it, it should have been moved to You're the Devil.
Yeah,
The selfishness. The
absolutely. That
outright
was
selfishness.
mm,
It's not my fault my parents want me to go with somebody. Your parents are worried about you going to a different country as a female.
yeah. I mean, have you not seen Taken?
Yeah, like human trafficking is a real fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where now are they being a little overprotective? Maybe. However, them threatening to tell the parents of your friend is the least they can do.
Yeah. I mean, that just shows that they're not idiot asshole parents and allowing her to get away with this.
Yeah,
So I applaud the parents.
that is absolutely insane. That's insane behavior, pure selfishness,
Mm-hmm.
and you not getting accepted to the other university. I promise you, is not a capita thing. They read through your letter, and they saw the asshole that you are.
Yeah.
I promise you, there was enough space for you to go. They just didn't want your ass.
Yeah.
And if that friend needs to get away from you in a heartbeat, because if this is the start of your adulthood moves, you are going to fuck up this person's life.
Very much.
You're gonna like, if she gets a boyfriend that you don't like or you have a crush on, you're gonna fuck that up. With some made up bullshit. You're gonna cost her jobs. You're gonna cost her everything. Get the fuck away from her.
Yeah, it was actually nice that we had to have one that we agree. Yes, you are an asshole for that. Just wow. Just some people. And you know, her parents are probably looking, especially her mom's probably looking at her and it's like, God, why didn't I swallow?
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, so here's another one that's kind of, I think, college based. Am I the asshole for throwing out my friend's body count board? For all those unaware, body count is how many people you've slept with.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming from the title that it's a board of women's names and the people they've slept with, or names of the girls that these guys have slept with, something like that. So we'll see how this goes. Off the bat, I'm gonna say not the asshole because nobody should have a board like that up, like on
Yeah.
display. Like what the fuck? That is some toxic masculinity bullshit right there. That is some that's some Andrew Tate shit right fucking there. Like fuck that shit. So yeah, you're not the asshole for
It's
talking about it.
yeah. What's Christian Bale's character name in
Patrick
American
Bateman.
Psycho?
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman. That's like him videotaping himself with women and then looking into the camera, flexing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I live in an apartment unit at university with 3 of my friends. We get along just fine in every aspect except one dude who does this absolutely disgusting thing. Friend, we'll call DB, thinks it's funny or cool, honestly, I don't know, to pin his used condoms on a bulletin board to show off all the times he's fucked. That is so much worse than what I thought.
Oh, God, what?
That is so much worse than I thought.
Me, same. I was expecting him to say like a little dry erase board.
Yeah, like a dry erase board with names or tallies or something.
Jesus.
Holy fuck. And just, it's unsanitary and disgusting. And what
Yeah.
the fuck? That is definitely some Andrew Tate shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, fuck. I've asked him a million times to take it down or to put it in his own damn room, but he leaves it up in the main living area for everyone to see.
Oh, what the hell?
I would go to the apartment complex.
That means that that would definitely mean that he goes somewhere else to do the deed with the ladies and then brings that thing back. Because guarantee you, no woman with any pride whatsoever would go to that place, see that, and is like, yeah, I'm still interested.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. In his defense, he washes the condoms, cleans, and dries them. That doesn't fucking matter. That doesn't fucking matter.
No.
Because also at that point, it could just be unused condoms and he's lying, which is best case scenario, to be honest.
Let's hope so. Jeez.
The bulletin board itself is really big and really expensive. He designed it with Supreme stickers and a bunch of other things on it too. There are 6 condoms in total on the board. He doesn't seem to understand that I don't fucking care if he washes them or not. It's an eyesore and it's disgusting to leave it up for everyone to see. No shit.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday.
Yeah, what?
Words are hard. Yesterday, a girl I've been
By the way,
talking
if you would
to-
like your own Words Are Hard t-shirt, go to our merch store.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, a girl I've been talking to asked to come study with me at my place and watch a movie afterwards. I was super duper fucking excited because this shit never happens to me. So before I left to classes, I made sure to hide the bulletin board and clean the place up. Later that night, she came over and she wandered around looking at our dorm while I went to wash my hands. When I came back, the fucking bulletin board was back up on the wall and she was staring at it. She looked really uncomfortable and she asked me what it was. I got so nervous and choked up. I turned bright red and explained what it was to her. The rest of the night was awkward and she didn't even stay to watch a movie. I took the bulletin board down after she left, smashed it into pieces, and threw it in the dumpster behind our building.
Good for you, dude.
DB asked me where the board was today, and I told him exactly what I did with it. I do feel bad for reacting that way, but I was angry, and the body count board was bound to be thrown out one way or the other. Am I the asshole?
No.
No, you're not the asshole. I'd have done that long. I'd have done that long before the first day it was up. If he didn't take it down or put it in his room, it was going to be destroyed. Because that's fucking disgusting. Even if he cleans it. Even if he cleans it, the implications of it are fucking disgusting. Nate, welcome to the chat. Would you have a bulletin board with used condoms on it in your living room to proclaim how many times you've had sex? Do you think that's normal behavior, Nate? Because I sure as fuck don't.
Hell no. That is just... I mean, that sounds like something you would see like in a low-budget 80s movie about college. But oh, that's just so disgusting. Yeah, exactly. The fuck.
That is just fucking. Yeah, the fuck is exactly my response. Like, when reading the headline and it said a body count board, I just thought it was like, it was just tally marks or name. Like, worst case scenario, my thought was he had the actual names of the girls up or something.
Yeah.
Like, basically shaming the girls or some shit. But no, the guy had actual used condoms put into a bulletin board that he had in the living room of his dorm. Nate says, I have my trophies. They walk and talk back. Yes, I know. I've had many of your trophies jump on me. Nate's kids
Bravo,
are
Nate. Bravo.
Nate's kids are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the actual fuck, man? Mostly just one. Yeah, mostly just one jumping on me. One of them did my hair.
Don't want...
Yeah, fucking, that's insane. That is insane behavior.
Crazy as shit.
And you're right. There's no way this guy's having girls over to sleep with in the apartment. Yeah. There's no way they walk in there, go past that living room, and think, "Yeah, I'm still gonna fuck this guy." Seeing that body count to it. There's no way. So he's bringing his dirty condoms from wherever he is back to the place. What the actual fuck?
It's like, I don't even want to imagine him just stripping that thing off, putting it in his pocket, and going back to his place. And like, ugh.
I mean, technically, it's a form of sexual assault to the roommates, too.
Yeah.
I mean, legally, they could have had the guy arrested. What the actual fuck, man? Oh, yeah, he's absolutely tagging them at their place because there's no way he's doing it at his. There's just no way. I'm sure he uses the excuses, oh, I have roommates. Let's do it at your place.
Yeah. Just so they don't have to see his trophy board.
My God. All right. So this next one is another one of those examples where I talk about where the OP tries to write it to where he's the hero.
Yep.
This one is probably going to infuriate both of us as well.
Oh, God.
Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to bow to my Korean fiance's grandparents? Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you are. Hey, Rocky, you're good, man. You're absolutely the asshole for refusing to bow to your Korean parents, Korean fiance's grandparents. But let's get into it.
Not you, Rocky. We're talking about some douchebag on Reddit.
So this is a short one, but I'm sure it's all we need. My fiance is Korean American and I'm American. Holy fuck. Okay, right off the bat.
Oh boy.
This guy is as white as rice, which is a shame because she's Korean American and he can't have the manners to bow. All right, that was a low blow. But reality is, this dude is white on white. Like, this dude is fucking probably...
He complains about saltines being too spicy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he probably thinks mayo is like sriracha. This guy probably, like, if a light bulb has too high of a wattage, he gets a sunburn. You know what? With his, I bet you we read this story, Nate, you might take that back, because I bet you he doesn't eat Korean. I bet you he's one of those assholes. If he doesn't have enough respect to bow to her grandparents, I doubt he does that. Let's get into it. My fiance is Korean, and I'm Korean American, and I'm American. We met each other's parents before, and she has met my grandparents, but I've yet to meet her grandparents because they live in Korea. We are planning a trip to Korea as soon as possible so that I can meet them. She is asking me to bow to her grandparents when we meet, since respecting the elders is a big deal in Korean culture. Not just a casual dip, like a full-on 90-degree bow. I said I'd rather not, since I found it emasculating, and I just don't bow to anyone. Jesus fucking Christ. So she said that it was important to her culture, but I pointed out that she didn't bow to my grandparents or parents. I just think it's hypocritical to expect me to bow to her grandparents when she didn't bow to mine. Her
That
grandparents
doesn't
aren't my
matter.
her grandparents aren't my superior just because of their age. Why should I bow? What the actual fuck?
You cringy motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a bow, not kneeling. Exactly, Nate.
Yeah, exactly. That's
She
not.
she said it was one tiny thing that I could do to earn their respect. But I said that if it was so tiny, it should be fine if I don't do it. And that I respect myself and that's why I'm not going to bow. And she was just gonna have to respect my decision. She thinks I'm an asshole for that. Am I the asshole? Yes!
In the words of
Yes!
Gordon Ramsay, oh fuck off.
Rocky, we did hear Michael Gambon passed away. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. It is a shame. He was 82, but it's still a shame to lose such a great actor.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
But
yes, you're 1,000% an asshole. What the actual fuck? Bet he square dances too. Oh, yeah. And he's probably only with a Korean American because of the Asian fetish that he can't get from his cousin, who's also as white bread as he is.
Mm-hmm. Once again, going back to our discussion about Alabama earlier.
Yeah. Oh, here's a great comment. You're the asshole and you're emasculating yourself by being hung up on what's manly. It's far more gentlemanly to show cultural respect. 1,000, like,
yes.
Yeah, if you're worried about the manliness of it, if you're worried about that, the show of respect is such a gentlemanly thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would show how much of a man you are.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Your girlfriend didn't bow. Your girlfriend didn't bow to your grandparents because she was respecting their culture, and bowing is not a part of white culture.
Exactly.
We barely have a culture as it is. So she didn't bow because she was she could have made, had your girlfriend bowed to your grandparents, she could have made them feel uncomfortable because it is not a normal part of their culture. So she was respecting their culture by not bowing. And your tiny dick is such in a knot that you are so worried about being emasculated by people, which, by the way, you've already said you're probably never going to see again because they're elderly, they live in Korea, and it's taking you forever and a day just to get out there to meet them once.
Mm-hmm. So what would it have hurt?
And you're in Korea. You're not like you're going to be around a bunch of your boys. Not that that's an excuse not to bow, but if you're worried about being emasculated, nobody's going to know. Now we all know.
Yeah. And even if he didn't post this on Reddit, he wouldn't have been like, yeah, I went and met my girl's grandparents. I didn't bow because I didn't feel like doing it.
He could tell his boys anything.
Exactly.
It is nothing to bow. I would love for this dude to go into a martial arts studio for a class and then refuse to bow and just get his ass kicked.
Because I have this dream about going to Okinawa, Japan, because I have a friend that I met via Facebook. And, we talk every once in a while. He's an amazing man. Well, I met him once. I went to Chicago for G-Fest a few years back. Met the man in person. Wonderful human being. If I got a chance to go to Okinawa, where he lives, and meet his family, I would not even give a second hesitation to bow to them because I know that is acceptable in their culture.
If I go to Japan or China or Korea or any of those cultures that bowing is the norm, even if I'm there just as a tourist with nobody else to visit, I know no one. I'm bowing to everyone.
Everyone.
Because it is just what is part of because I'm there as a guest. Yes. I'm there. If they came here, like if I met somebody that was a Korean native that was here and I was introduced to them, I would bow because that is what their culture knows as respect. And I'm sure they shake hands over here simply because the American thing to do is to shake hands. They don't shake hands there.
No.
There's a wonderful video. It's on TikTok. Shinsuke Nakamura, the wrestler from Japan,
Yes.
was in a Ring of Honor match. Now, in a Ring of Honor, when a match is over, everybody shakes hands. This is something he's not used to. So they made a kind of funny bit about it. He shook his opponent's hand and he looked confused. It was a tag match. So he shook the other opponent's hand. He then turned around and shook his tag team partner's hand. Then he turned around and shook the ref's hand. Then he looked to the audience. He was looking at the audience like, do I need to shake your hand too? Because it was new to him. It wasn't had his culture. Because the first thing he did when the match was over was he bowed.
Right.
It's a very funny video. I love Shinsuke Nakamura for doing that. But he also did
great.
it. He did it. He still shook hands because it was a respectable thing to do. Even though it wasn't from his culture. Like, my God, man. You're the asshole. You were clear explained that in the culture you're about to visit, this kind of bow is a basic sign of respect, common courtesy, not some kind of submission. She didn't bow to your grandparents because in American culture, that's not a thing. Like I said, your whole attitude shines as some sort of tunnel vision, xenophobic refusal to accept the customs other than the ones that exist as your own. You're not defending your dignity. You're broadcasting your ignorance. Exactly.
Very well said.
Oh, so this brings up a good point. You're the asshole and also have weird ideas about your masculinity. This is the equivalent of refusing to shake hands or to take off your shoes in someone's home when they request it. Get over it and just do it. Yeah, is he not gonna take his shoes off over there? Because that's another everywhere. Point. That's everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Wow. Just wow. All right. You know what? We are halfway through this list. I think we'll save the second half for next week, and I'll try to find a couple others as well that are some good ones.
All right.
Because we're already an hour and a half in on this. I don't want to be doing this till 11:30.
Yeah.
So, and I'm getting heated over some of these. But
me too. I know. Yeah.
It's still.
So yeah, we'll continue this next week.
Yeah. This is still a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing this more often. This is something something I enjoy. Also, like I said, I want to bring in the Smosh ones and we kind of react to theirs as well. Because those are also done really well. So we'll do that as well. But next week we'll finish up this list. We got 7 more. We did 9 today. We'll do we got 7 more. Like I said, I'll try to find 1 or 2 other good ones as well. But yeah. So that was crazy Reddit stories. There are some strange peoples out there. Like, out of the ones we read so far, who would you say is the biggest asshole?
Oh, definitely the girl that sold her fiance's or boyfriend's car. Because that's not only being an asshole, that's committing crime.
Yeah, see, for me, I think for me, she definitely committed crime, but I don't know if I consider her the biggest asshole. She's just stupid, and she's going to get her comeuppance because he's filed a police report.
That's true.
I think that last story is the biggest asshole. Because that is purely a respect thing, and
yeah.
The other, like the one before that with the body count board, that guy's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's gonna gradually accelerate and become a serial killer one day.
Possibly. He already is keeping trophies.
Exactly. And then the one before that one where the guy had to put a lock on his daughter's door.
Yes, he wasn't the asshole. The brother-in-law and the wife were.
Brother-in-law and his wife, yes.
Yeah.
They're the biggest assholes, I think.
Yeah, that was some pretty bad ones. Some other stories we'll do sometime too, is the like malicious compliance ones. You know, where like, you know, oh, my boss, you know, like they're getting on this girl for wearing yoga pants, but there's nowhere that guys can't. There's a great story where a guy, he's like shaped like me, big bearded fat guy. There was nothing in the dress code that says that men can't wear yoga pants after this new manager tried yelling at one of the best employees about her wearing yoga pants. So he wore yoga pants for like a month. Stories like that are great. So I love malicious compliance and stuff like that. Those are always good. And once we get some of our favorite Reddit stories, we'll try to see if we can keep up with them and maybe get some updates that haven't already happened. Because that's always good. There's, again, some other great ones. Like I said, like we watched the Smosh videos. There's some really great ones there that I'd love to cover. So I'll go through and kind of curate those, figure out what the best episodes for that is as well. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we're going to do a special episode of the Geeky Kitchen tomorrow night. We're making the Infinity Gauntlet burger and the Captain America pie tart. Why is YouTube blurry? That's weird. Anyways, don't forget to join our Discord.
Clean your screen, Vince.
Yeah, that's weird. Don't forget to join our Discord so you get all the information on there. As always, you can get your merch in our merch store. Do all the social media stuff. And we will continue this next week. Peace out, everybody.
I went to substances, you went to college. I think it's too late to acknowledge our problems. Heard that you're great, I just wanted to say it ain't change. I still love you, tomorrow's not promised. Oh, by the way, fucking hate all the fame. Got you counting the days when your illness is chronic. If death really changes the way you behave, I'll remember your face when it smiles upon us. Reprobate, psych major, 666, so we like danger. Tough luck, life waster. If I get to know her, then I might save her. Stars in your eyes, let the moon talk. I can stay a while before I move on. Hoodie sleeves up, let the mask off. Mixed our tears on the asphalt. Damage in my C6, but you get that. So I know you'll understand where my blade at. You're afflicted, where the meds at. Damn girl, let's make big bets at. Fuck them all, they don't got nothing on us. Trying to kill us, baby, think we're fucking on it. Fuck your fucking sickness, lost you in the process. I'ma get it for us like I always promised.